You're exhausted after a long workday, and the last thing you want to do is open a textbook. But what if you could master high-frequency workplace idioms in the time it takes to brew your morning coffee? Stop wasting your limited downtime on passive scrolling and start using these 5-minute micro habits.
So, Emily, I really want to talk more about this. I always thought I needed a big table, a thick book, and at least 1 hour to study English. I call it my golden hour. But honestly, it never happens.
Oh, John, the golden hour is a beautiful dream, but it's actually a trap. It's the biggest myth in learning. In our world today, we have back-to-back meetings, we have kids, we have chores. Waiting for 60 free minutes is like waiting for a flying car. It's just not coming.
You're right. I feel so guilty. I look at my calendar, and it's just full of red boxes for work. By the time I finish, my brain feels like it's full of dry sand. I can't think.
Exactly. That's because of something called cognitive load. When your brain is tired from workplace productivity and big decisions, it can't handle a heavy textbook. That's why micro-learning for language fluency is so powerful. It's much easier for a tired brain to handle 5 minutes than 60.
I see. So instead of a big meal, it's like a small snack for the brain.
Yes, exactly. A healthy, quick snack. If you try to do deep study when you are exhausted, you will fail, and then you feel bad. But a 5-minute mastery window? Anyone can do that. Even you, John, with your busy meetings.
Hey, I'm not that busy. Okay, maybe I am. But how do I actually start? I usually just forget to study because I'm thinking about other things.
That is where the habit stacking blueprint comes in. It's a very simple micro-habit strategy. You take a habit you already have, something you do every single day without thinking, and you stack your English practice on top of it.
Aha, so like anchoring it to something, like my morning coffee.
Yes, you brew your coffee every morning, right? It takes about 5 minutes for the machine to finish. That is your anchor. While the coffee is brewing, you don't look at the news, you don't look at social media, you do 5 minutes of English.
Oh, so I'm already standing there anyway. I'm just waiting for the coffee. Instead of doom scrolling on my phone, I can use that time.
Exactly. Think about your professional schedule in 2026. Everything is fast. We have these idle moments, waiting for an elevator, sitting on the bus, or waiting for a Zoom call to start. Usually, we waste these moments on bad digital habits. Habit stacking turns those wasted minutes into professional communication practice.
I see. So my new non-negotiable anchor could be my commute to the office. I spend 20 minutes on the train. I usually just look out the window or check my emails.
That's a perfect anchor. You're already on the train. You can't go anywhere. That is your new classroom.
Okay, I like this. But what do I actually do during those 5 or 10 minutes? I can't really write in a notebook on a crowded train.
Great point. This is where we shift from boring lists to active shadowing. Have you heard of it?
Shadowing? Like a ghost?
Not quite. It means you listen to a native speaker, maybe a leader in your industry, and you repeat exactly what they say, almost at the same time. You mimic their speed, their tone, and their emotion. It's great for workplace fluency because you start to sound more natural.
Wow, so I'm not just learning words, I'm learning how to sound, professional.
Right. You can focus on high-frequency industry idioms or executive phrasing. Instead of saying, I think, you learn to say, from my perspective, or let's look at the data.
But won't people on the train think I'm crazy if I start talking to myself?
Well, maybe a little, but you can do it very quietly, or just move your lips. Or, better yet, do it while you're walking from the station to your office. You have your headphones in, everyone thinks you're just on a phone call.
Aha, that's clever. I use my AI-driven audio tools all the time for work meetings. I could use those same tools to practice my pronunciation during those short transitions between meetings.
Exactly. It's about moving from vocalizing in private to feeling confident. When you practice these small patterns every day, they become automatic. Then, when you're in a high stakes professional environment, like a big presentation, you don't have to search for the words, they just come out.
I love that. It feels less scary. But Emily, my phone is the problem. It's full of distractions. I open my phone to study and then, oops, I'm looking at cat videos or the news.
We've all been there, John. That's why we have to optimize your digital environment. We need to make it frictionless.
Frictionless, like smooth.
Yes, if you have to search for your English app for 30 seconds, you might give up. You need to streamline your interface. Move your social media apps to a folder on the second or third page. Put your English learning tools right on the home screen, at the bottom where your thumb is.
Oh, I see. So it's the first thing I see when I unlock my phone.
Exactly. And you can also curate a specialized feed. Follow professional leaders or industry-specific content on your apps. That way, even when you are just scrolling, the content you see is useful for your 5-minute bursts.
Wow, so my phone becomes a tool for growth instead of a tool for wasting time. It's all about the setup.
It really is. One tap and you are learning. No searching, no thinking, just action.
This all sounds great, but I worry about staying consistent. I might do it for 3 days, and then a big deadline happens, and I forget everything.
That's normal. The goal is consistency over intensity. It's better to do 5 minutes every day than 2 hours once a week. You can use visual tracking or digital streaks, like a game. Seeing that 7-day streak makes you want to keep going.
I am very competitive. I think a streak would help me stay motivated during a busy work week.
And if you have a really bad day, like if you have to travel or you have an unexpected deadline, don't panic. Just recalibrate your routine. If you can't do your morning coffee habit, find a small window before bed. Just don't miss 2 days in a row.
Never miss twice. I like that rule. It feels fair.
It is fair. These micro wins, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, they add up. Over a few months, you'll find you have developed a long-term trajectory towards effortless professional fluency.
It's amazing how much pressure this takes off my shoulders. I don't need the golden hour. I just need my 5-minute window.
Exactly, John. You already have all the time you need. You just have to use it differently.
Wow, I feel so much better. I'm actually excited for my coffee tomorrow morning now.
I'm glad. But wait, there is one more thing we need to talk about to make sure these habits really stick. We need to talk about how to choose the right materials so you never get bored.
Oh, right, because if it's boring, I definitely won't do it. How do we keep it interesting? You know, Emily, we used some really big words earlier. I was listening and I like the ideas, but my brain feels a little full. Can we slow down and look at these words? I want to make sure I really own them before we move on.
I think that is a wonderful idea, John. It is always better to understand a few things deeply than many things only a little bit. That is actually part of micro-learning for language fluency. We take a small piece and we make it ours.
See, you just did it again. Micro-learning. I know micro means small, and learning is what I'm trying to do. So it is just small learning?
Exactly. But it's more than just size. It's a philosophy. It is the belief that 5 minutes of focused work is better than 1 hour of distracted work. It's about being smart with your time. When we talk about micro-learning for language fluency, we mean using those tiny gaps in your day to get better at English.
Okay, that makes me feel much better. I don't need a huge library. I just need 5 minutes. But what about that other term you used, habit stacking? It sounds like I'm building a tower of boxes.
In a way, you are. Think about your day. You have things you do every single day without thinking. You brush your teeth, you put on your shoes, you boil water for tea or coffee, right?
Right, I do those things like a robot. I don't even think about them.
Exactly. That is the anchor. Habit stacking is when you take one of those robot habits and you stack a new English habit on top of it.
Oh, so if I'm waiting for my coffee to brew, I can listen to one English sentence.
Exactly. You're stacking the English box on top of the coffee box. The coffee is the trigger. When you smell the coffee, your brain says, oh, time for my 1 minute of English. It's a very powerful way to make learning automatic.
Wow, I see. It's like a train. The engine is the coffee, and the English is the car following it.
That is a beautiful way to put it, John. A train. I love that. And because the engine is already moving, it's easy for the English car to follow. You don't have to push the train yourself every morning.
Habit stacking. Okay, I like that. It feels easier than trying to start a whole new engine from zero. But then you said something else, active shadowing. That sounds a bit spooky, like a ghost following me.
Oh, no ghosts allowed here. Active shadowing is actually very fun. Think about a little child. Have you ever seen a child repeat exactly what their parents say right after they say it?
Oh, yes, my nephew does that. It can be a bit annoying sometimes.
Well, your nephew is a genius. He is doing shadowing. In English learning, active shadowing is when you listen to a native speaker and you try to say the words at the same time or just a second after them. You copy their voice, their speed, and even how they sound happy or sad.
So I'm like a shadow of their voice.
Exactly. You're not just listening, you're moving your mouth, you're feeling the rhythm of the language. It helps with your pronunciation and your confidence. It's a key part of our micro-habit strategy.
Micro-habit strategy. There's that word again, strategy. It sounds so professional, like a big meeting at work.
Don't let the word scare you, John. A strategy is just a simple plan. In this case, your micro-habit strategy is your plan to use tiny moments for big results. It's the how and the when. Like, I will use active shadowing while I'm walking from my car to my office.
Aha! So the strategy is just me deciding to do it. It's not a secret formula.
Not at all. It's just being intentional. You're choosing to turn a nothing moment into a something moment. This is how we improve our workplace productivity.
Now, workplace productivity is a term I hear my boss use a lot. He wants us to do more work in less time. Does it mean the same thing here?
A little bit, but we're using it for you, not for your boss. We want you to feel productive. When you use these small moments to learn, you don't feel guilty, you feel like you're winning. If you can learn English without taking time away from your work or your family, that's the ultimate productivity.
I see. So if I learn a new phrase during my lunch break, I'm being productive because I'm growing, but I'm not working harder. I'm working smarter.
Exactly, John. You're getting it. And this leads to better professional communication.
Professional communication. That means talking well at work, right?
Yes, it means being clear, being polite, and feeling sure of yourself when you speak to your boss or your clients. When you use micro-learning for language fluency, you pick up small pieces of executive language, small phrases that make you sound more professional.
Like saying, let's touch base instead of just let's talk.
Yes, exactly. Those small idioms are like the salt in a meal. You don't need a lot, but a little makes everything better. That's part of your professional communication.
I'm starting to see how all these words fit together. The micro-habit strategy is the plan, habit stacking is how I find the time, active shadowing is how I practice, and the result is better workplace productivity and professional communication.
John, that was perfect. You just summarized everything beautifully. How do you feel now? Do these words still feel big and scary?
No, they feel like friends now. They feel like tools I can actually use. I was so worried about the golden hour, but now I see I have many golden minutes all over my day.
Oh, that's so wonderful to hear. You really do have those minutes. We all do. We just have to look for them. It's like looking for little pieces of gold on the ground.
I'm ready to start looking. I don't want to wait for a free hour anymore. I want to start my first stack today, maybe with my afternoon tea.
Oh, I love that. What will you stack on your tea time?
I think I'll try 1 minute of active shadowing. I'll listen to a short clip and try to copy the voice while my tea is cooling down.
That is a perfect plan, John. A perfect micro habit. You're already using the micro learning for language fluency approach.
I guess I am. It feels much lighter, like I'm carrying a small backpack instead of a heavy suitcase.
And that's the secret to staying consistent. A light backpack is easy to carry every day. A heavy suitcase is something you want to leave at home.
Right. I always left my English suitcase at home because it was too heavy. But this I can do.
I'm so happy, John. You're doing great. Remember, everyone listening, these words, habit stacking, active shadowing, micro habits, they're just tools to help you breathe easier while you learn.
Exactly. They're here to help us, not to make us work harder.
Well said, John. Now that we have our vocabulary tools ready, I think we should talk about how to actually look at our day and find those hidden moments.
Oh, you mean looking for the wasted time?
Yes, but let's call them opportunity moments. It sounds much nicer, don't you think?
Now that we have looked at our new words, it is time to put them into action. We are going to try something very special today. It is called active shadowing. Are you ready, John?
I think so. Active shadowing. That sounds like I'm following you in the dark.
No, not in the dark. It is much simpler than that. Think of it like music. I will say a sentence, and you repeat it right after me. You try to match my speed, my feelings, and my tone. This is how we build workplace productivity without spending hours at a desk.
Oh, I see. So I'm like your echo.
Exactly, like a very smart echo. This helps your mouth get used to the sounds of English. It also helps your brain remember the micro-habit strategy we discussed. When we practice in small pieces, it stays in our memory longer.
Okay, I like that. I am ready to be your echo. What is our first sentence?
Let's start with the main idea of today. Listen closely. I use micro-learning for language fluency every single day.
Okay, let me try. I use micro-learning for language fluency every single day.
Wow, John, that was perfect. How did it feel to say those words?
It felt strong. Usually I say I study English, but saying micro-learning for language fluency makes me feel like I have a real plan. It sounds more professional.
It really does. And you don't need a classroom to say that sentence. You can say it while you are walking to your car. That is the beauty of it. Now, let's try a sentence about our next big idea, habit stacking.
Aha, habit stacking. That's the one about the coffee, right?
Yes, exactly. We connect a new habit to an old one. Let's practice this sentence. I practice English while I brew my morning coffee.
I practice English while I brew my morning coffee.
Perfect. Now, let's try to say it with a bit more energy. Imagine you are happy because the coffee smells great. I practice English while I brew my morning coffee.
Okay, I could do that. I practice English while I brew my morning coffee. Haha, you're right. The energy changes how it feels.
It really does. When we feel good, our brain opens up. It's like opening a window to let in fresh air. This is a big part of professional communication. It's not just the words, it's how we say them.
I never thought about it that way. I always focused on the grammar, but the feeling, that makes it more real.
Exactly. Let's try another one. This one is about the micro-habit strategy. Clearly, my micro-habit strategy helps me stay consistent when I am busy.
My micro-habit strategy helps me stay consistent when I am busy.
Excellent. Stay consistent is a very important phrase for your workplace productivity. It means you don't stop, even if you only do 5 minutes.
Stay consistent. I like that. It sounds much better than I try to study. It sounds like I'm in control of my time.
You are in control, John. That is the secret. Now, let's try something for the office. Imagine you are in a meeting. You want to show you are listening. A common phrase is, "That's a great point. Let me think about that."
Oh, I hear people say that all the time at work. Okay, let me try. That is a great point. Let me think about that.
Very good. Now, try to say it a little faster, like you are in a real conversation. That is a great point. Let me think about that.
That is a great point. Let me think about that. Wow, shadowing is actually fun. It feels like I'm acting.
You are acting a little bit, and that's okay. Learning a language is like learning a new role. Now, let's combine two ideas. We'll talk about active shadowing and workplace productivity. Ready?
I'm ready. Give me a long one.
Okay, here we go. Active shadowing improves my professional communication during my daily commute.
Active shadowing improves my professional communication during my daily commute.
Bravo! You handled that long sentence so well. Do you see how we are building? We started with small words, and now you're saying complex sentences about your career.
You're right. I didn't even realize how hard those words were until I finished the sentence. Professional communication is a big phrase, but it felt natural.
That's because we are using the micro-habit strategy. We don't climb the mountain in one jump. We take small, happy steps. Let's do one more before we take a little break. This one is about your goals. I am becoming more fluent every single day through micro-learning.
I am becoming more fluent every single day through micro-learning.
How does that make you feel, John?
It makes me feel proud. It reminds me that I don't need that golden hour we talked about. If I just do this while I'm driving or waiting for the elevator, I'm still moving forward.
Exactly. You are always moving. Even if it's just a small step, it's a step. You are doing the work. Now, John, think about your day tomorrow. When is your first idle moment? You know, those times when you are just waiting?
I think it's when I wait for the elevator in the morning. It takes a long time in my building. I usually just look at my phone and look at social media. It's kind of boring, actually.
We all do that. We doom scroll. We look at bad news or silly videos because we are bored. But what if that was your anchor? What if the elevator door was your signal to practice one sentence?
Oh, that's habit stacking. The elevator is the trigger, the practice is the habit.
Yes, you got it. Instead of doom scrolling, you do a quick burst of micro-learning for language fluency, 5 minutes, or even 1 minute while the elevator goes to the 10th floor.
I see. That makes it feel so easy. I don't have to find time. The time is already there. I'm just using it differently.
That's the whole point of workplace productivity. It's about being smart with the time you have. You are a busy professional. You don't have hours to waste, but you have minutes.
I have many minutes. If I add them all up, wow, that could be 30 minutes a day without even trying.
Exactly. And that's much better than trying to find 1 hour on a Saturday when you're exhausted. Your brain likes these small bursts. It stays fresh.
My brain definitely feels fresher today than it usually does after a long study session. Usually my head hurts. Today I feel like I'm just having a nice chat with you.
That's because this is natural. This is how we are supposed to learn. Now, we've been talking a lot about our habits, but there's one more thing we need to fix to make this really work.
Really? What is that?
It is our environment. Our phones, our desks, they can either help us or distract us. If your phone is full of distractions, it's hard to choose micro-learning.
My phone is definitely a distraction. I have so many notifications. Bing. See, there's one right now.
See, it happens to everyone. In our next part, we are going to look at how to fix that. We'll talk about optimizing your digital environment so that learning is the easiest thing you can do.
Oh, I need that. I want my phone to be my tool, not my boss.
We'll make sure of that. It's all about making the right choice frictionless. One tap and you're learning. No searching, no waiting.
That sounds like a dream. Let's talk about how to set that up. I want to turn my phone into a micro-learning machine.
A micro-learning machine. I love that. Let's keep going then and look at how we can make our digital world work for us, not against us.
Wow, Emily, that practice felt really good. My mouth feels like it went to the gym.
It is a real workout for your brain and your voice, isn't it? That is the magic of active shadowing. You are building the muscles you need for better professional communication.
I feel much more confident already. I used to think I was too busy, but this feels possible. I don't need that golden hour anymore.
I am so happy to hear that, John. You are learning that small steps lead to big changes. And that brings us to our favorite part of the show. It is time for our question of the day.
I love this part. I want to hear what our listeners think. What is the question today, Emily?
Today, we want to help everyone start their own micro-habit strategy. So our question for you is, which 5-minute part of your day will you use for micro-learning for language fluency?
Let me think. We're looking for those little empty moments in the day, right? The times when we usually just scroll through social media and waste time.
Exactly, John. We want to take those moments back. It's all about habit stacking. You take something you already do every day and stack a little English on top of it. This is how you really improve your workplace productivity.
That makes so much sense. Let me try to give some examples of what our friends at home might say.
Go for it, John.
Okay, example number 1. I can practice speaking while I'm waiting for my morning coffee to brew.
I love that one. Here's example 2. I can listen to a short English podcast during my 10-minute walk to the train station.
Example 3, I can use the 5 minutes between my busy meetings to review one industry idiom.
Perfect. Example 4, I can read 2 English news headlines while I eat my lunch.
And example 5, I can do one quick vocabulary game on my phone right before I go to sleep.
Those are all great examples. It shows that learning does not have to be a heavy burden. It can be light and easy.
Right, it feels much better when I don't have to worry about a big clock.
So, listeners, it's your turn. We want you to pick just one moment today. Tell us which 5 minutes belong to your English.
Yes, write it down or tell a friend. Make it your daily promise to yourself.
It is such a powerful way to start. Now, once you have your 5 minutes, you need the right tools. Let's talk about how to fix your phone so it helps you stay focused.
You are so right, John. We don't need a golden hour. We just need 5 minutes here and there. That is the true heart of micro-learning for language fluency.
I see. So while I make my coffee tomorrow morning, I can try some habit stacking and practice one new professional phrase.
Exactly. Or use active shadowing for a moment while you walk to your car. These small steps help your professional communication much more than waiting for a free hour that never comes.
Oh, it feels so much easier when I think about it this way. Thank you for making me feel safe and happy about my English journey today.
You are doing wonderful work, John. Remember, small wins lead to big changes. Goodbye, everyone. Take it very slow and be kind to your own heart.
Goodbye. I will see you all soon. Congratulations on making it all the way through the lesson with Emily and John. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the subscribe button right in the center of your screen so you never miss our next lesson. You can also check out more videos right over here on the left or right side. We've picked them just for you. Thanks for watching, and we'll
We'll see you in the next video.